What's going on, man? Welcome back to the basement. How are we doing? If you're in here, let me know. Let me know if the audio is good, if the stream quality is good. We are hopping on here today because I checked the calendar. It's August. I didn't post today. So that means a stream was coming today. I just had to get some things out of the way. We recorded the Zero RB draft strategy video today. That is going to come out tomorrow. Stay tuned. But to best ball tournament out now on Underdog, we have the Pomeranian but Superflex here. This is why we love Underdog. Now let me get this the hell out of here. If you're hopping in right now, let me know. Hop in the comments, hop in the live chat, say what's up. How are we doing? But we have the Pomeranian but Superflex. Only $3 to enter, $50,000 worth of prizes, $5,000 going to first place. This is why we love Underdog. If you want to hop on here, literally just $3 for a chance at $5,000. Hop on Underdog. Use promo code RON when you sign up. They will match your deposit all the way up to $100. Let me get that link down below in the live chat real quick for you guys. So you click the link. I'll have it in the description. I'll have it down below in the comments. I'll have it in the live chat. You click the link. It'll take you right to Underdog. It'll use my promo code, and it'll get you locked and loaded on Underdog, matching your deposit up to $100. Now, again, if you're just joining the stream, say what's up in the live chat. Let me know that you're here. Let me know that the audio is all good and well. We're going to hop into one of these in a second. We got Kevin in here. Damian Pierce season, baby, I suppose. We got Ben Owen here. What's up, Ron? Trey Pacheco for Gainwell, 1,000%. How are we doing, everybody? How are we doing? Let me know if the audio is good, all of that good stuff. We're not going to waste any time because it's already 9:30, running a little bit late here. We're going to hop into one of these. If one of you guys want to hop in with me, you go to the lobby on Underdog. You click on Pomeranian but Superflex. I'm going to click enter, and then when I click yes, it's going to get me in here. So I'm going to click yes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom. You said, how's it going, Ron? Crushing COVID still? Oh, yeah. I'm making COVID my bitch, bro. I will say, here's the sad news. We have some bad news with COVID. I'm starting to feel better. Like, I don't feel all that shitty anymore. Or I do still feel shitty. I'm still taking Tylenol and stuff, but as you guys can tell, like, I'm talking and I'm more energetic and I feel better. Still testing positive, which sucks. We were supposed to film the live draft tomorrow. So that's obviously not going to happen now. I'm still testing positive for COVID. People don't really want to take the risk, and that's completely fine, right? I have friends who are living with grandparents. I have friends who are going back to school this week. It's just not worth the hassle. So that does suck. I had a lot of fun last year filming our live draft. So that's really the biggest downer. But outside of that, we are feeling much better right now. All right, so this is a good view of the draft board. We're going to be at the turn here. I can't really say, yeah, this is going to be redraft Pomeranian but Superflex. So it's going to be redraft Superflex. Also, a twist that is really important for the Pomeranian is instead of 3 wide receivers, 1 flex, like normal Underdog tournaments, it's 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. So running backs are really, I wouldn't say undervalued, but they're really strong in this format. We got Joe in here. Ron went to school for finance, financial modeling, and business stats. Currently work in finance and absolutely love the work you do. Keep it up. I appreciate that, man. You're saying the analysis kind of relates through both of them? I guess so. I will say back in my college days, finance did definitely scare me off a little bit. It is funny because of how much I work with analytics in football, but I was good at math in high school and college, but business-related math, like economics, didn't click a ton for me. Like, once you got into the financial part and finance and you're dealing with... Now, you might be... Oh, man, financial modeling got to be tough, dude. It's got to be tough. I mean, maybe because I was in school and I didn't really care about it and I wasn't passionate and I wasn't putting in all the work I could have put in, then things might have been different, right? Where here I am spending a lot of time during the day doing research on fantasy football, but it's enjoyable and stuff. Maybe I put the same amount of time and effort into finance and stuff. That would work out for me. But it's going to be us just hanging out, ripping one of these drafts. So if any of you guys are in here, feel free to ask any redraft questions, any dynasty questions. I'm down to just hang out, shoot the shit with the fellas. And yeah. I'm also absolutely yearning to run back a high stakes league, but the 10 p.m. time slot was not filling tonight on NFFC. And I do want to do a redraft rankings update on the Patreon before I hop into another season-long draft. So I think what I'm actually going to do tomorrow, I told the boys on the Patreon and on Discord that I was going to update the redraft rankings on Saturday. I think I'm just going to stay up late tomorrow night and crank them out because I need to update them. I haven't updated them since August 7th. Today is the 16th, so I've had COVID for a while. I'm finally feeling better. I think tomorrow is the time to get back on the saddle. Oh, my God. This is where it's painful. What are we looking at our next pick? Our next pick is pick 36-37. We're looking at, like, the Trevor Lawrences of the world. Man, I think this has to just be double. Oh, jeez. Jeez, dude. Let's go Brady. Man, this is where that calculus gets so tough. If I could take that pick back, I would have gone Kupp, Stafford. Kupp, Jefferson, Dak. At the 12 spot, I think I just have to zig where others are zagging. Let's go Dak. Let's go Dak. I was going to zig where others are zagging, but let's just double tap QB. It doesn't feel good. But I have to tell myself, if I take two quarterbacks here, by the time we get back to the Josh Allen area, the Herbert area, they're going to have a pretty shitty QB too. So, sucks. Sucks, but that's kind of what we're looking at here. What do we got here? Yo, Ron, love the content, man. Any thoughts on a strategy for a Superflex auction dynasty startup? Dude, Superflex auction startup, bro? Any thoughts? I would try as hard as possible to get two elite quarterbacks at the cheapest possible price. So I would want two of Allen, Herbert, Mahomes, Lamar, Kyler. I guess you can also put, like, I would put Burrow in there. I'd put Hurts in there. I would put Russ in there, Trey Lance in there, Dak in there. And that's probably it. I can't really remember, but pretty much every quarterback, Deshaun Watson as well. Any quarterback that's better than like the Aaron Rodgers area and like Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields. I would want two elite, legit quarterbacks out the gate in that format for the cheapest possible price. And then after that, you're on your own, brother. After that, I'm not really sure. That's just a really unique ecosystem where, like, every single one of those leagues, Superflex, Dynasty, Auction, it's going to be completely different league to league. What else we got? Yeah, man, all the regression analysis, multi-factor models, ANOVA tables, and model strength, your RS grades. I love this shit. I'm a huge fantasy baseball junkie because of the advanced stats. Dude, I've never gotten into baseball, but I have a buddy who's into baseball, and he's like, dude, like, if you got into baseball growing up, like, you might not even be in fantasy football. You might just be, like, a baseball nerd. And I think that he's possibly right. But, yeah, I do think – I sometimes forget because we're in redraft season that I spent, like – dude, I spent, like, I want like 3 to 4 weeks down here in the basement, wasn't making any videos. Maybe was doing, like, weekly live streams, grinding at the Excel sheets on the RS grading system. So I am really proud of it, and that is definitely something – I guess that is kind of a regression analysis. I want to say it's a regression formula, something like that. You call it that, or a regression model or linear regression model, something like that. Your content is what got me more into deep diving dynasty football research. I love to hear that, man. In a $300 budget salary cap dynasty league, half PPR. Oh my God. You guys are like, these are definitely. I imagine these are fun leagues, but these are so like I wouldn't say niche, but they're so. they are pretty niche. Like, I'm not in a league like this, so god damn. You need a running back. You only have Nick Chubb. You have a $131 max bid, a $300 salary cap dynasty league. I can spit out a number, but I think you're going to the wrong guy here. I'm kind of just pulling a number out of my ass. How much did you bid on Nick Chubb? Let me know how much you bid on Nick Chubb, and I can kind of go from there. You said got to go double hero, double running, double quarterback. That's what we did. You said, would you trade Antonio Gibson for A.J. Dillon in Dynasty? 1,000%. I would have traded him for A.J. Dillon in Dynasty before he started sucking in the preseason. Now you got to get out from underneath him if you can for that price. I have a Superflex Dynasty Startup 2. I have no clue how to prepare. I actually have a video, not to promote my own mixtape and shit, but I have a video on YouTube. If you just type in Ron Stewart, like how to dominate Ron Stewart, how to dominate your Dynasty Startup or Dynasty Startup strategy, it should come up. What do we got? We're a few picks away. Remember, we only need to start 2 wide receivers in a flex. So wide receiver isn't at as much of a premium. I got some ideas here. I think that Aaron Jones is fun. I think Debo is fun here. I think Pitts is fun here. I think Javonte is fun here. Man, I got no clue what I'm doing in this format. I got to be honest with you guys. So it's 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, a super flex, a flex, and 12 bench spots. I think Aaron Jones and Debo makes a lot of sense here. All right, so let's go Aaron Jones. Let's go Pitts. We'll really fade wide receiver here. We'll make sure we have elite quarterbacks, elite tight ends. I will say as well, I don't know how many quarterbacks to stop at in a best ball superflex. I think probably the way we started, I imagine we could stop at 3 or 4. We got Mark Yasko in here. Smitty for A.J. Dillon for the handcuff. If you have Aaron Jones, Mark, if you have Aaron Jones, do not do that. You don't got to trade for a handcuff. I never handcuff, because the idea is, all right, so let me get this. Let's get this out of here. Let's move this down. But I almost never handcuff unless it's like super cheap, especially like Aaron Jones and Dillon. I don't know. I don't want to like really go at you here, Mark, because I don't know if you are trying to take somebody else's handcuff or if you have Aaron Jones. But if you have Aaron Jones, don't do that. I have Devonta Smith over A.J. Dillon straight up anyways. But the idea is that if you're buying an insurance policy at that expensive, you're almost betting on yourself to lose, if that makes sense. Like, you're almost betting on an Aaron Jones injury. But instead, I like to roster other people's handcuffs. So you have multiple outs to winning, right? You're not sort of hedging your bet there. Because if you're using a roster spot on A.J. Dillon, you're pretty much betting on Aaron Jones to go down at some point, which might happen. But instead of A.J. Dillon, you grab, say, a Kenneth Gainwell, right? You're an Eagles guy. If somebody's Miles Sanders goes down, you benefit from that chaos. So somebody else's team gets worse, your team gets better. Whereas if you have Aaron Jones, you replace him with A.J. Dillon. That injury is so brutal that even having A.J. Dillon to fill in for him might not be enough. I think that kind of makes sense. What do you think the top 5 running backs? The damn hell. I guess, I got to be honest with you guys. I hate these kind of questions. I don't know. McCaffrey, JT, Eckler, Swift, Saquon, something like that. You can tell a lot of work went into the RS grading system. I love those videos. I appreciate that, Nathan. A lot of work did go into them. A lot of work. And I'm excited. Once the season's over, I'll probably take another month off and sort of refine things. I want to play around with some ideas I have. I still need to get RS grading system figured out for tight ends. A lot of cool stuff. You said it's contracts. So you got him 2 to 3 years ago for pretty cheap, like $17. Who do you prefer over Hall? At running back, nobody. Or not nobody, but like McCaffrey, probably a really short list of like McCaffrey, JT, and I think he's in the same tier as Najee, Swift, Javonte. So RB3, I wouldn't even flinch. You're saying you should get some mocks going in the Discord. I also have a Superflex mock in a couple weeks, and I need to prep for it. I think there's mocks going on in there all the time. I think that there's one. I think I got pinged for one recently. I'll have to jump in. I did a mock on Sleeper. It took hours. Yeah, dude. These are filling up quick, man. I just hopped in the Pomeranian on Underdog again. If you're new to Underdog, I have the link pinned in the live chat at the top. You click it. It'll bring you right there with my promo code already put in. It'll match your deposit up to $100. So you deposit 20. Miles Powell jersey is tough. Go Hall. Bro, what Trenton makes, the world takes, brother. Under what circumstances are you okay with rostering handcuffs? Literally almost never. Almost never, unless if it's just like a crazy value. Like, let's say I take Clyde Edwards-Helaire in round 9, and I like Ronald Jones as like a round 13 guy, and it's round 16 and Ronald Jones is there. Boom, I'll take Ronald Jones. Outside of that, nothing really. All right, so we're going to be up here. We're looking at Waddle, who's fun. We probably didn't need to take Pitts. We could have just taken Waller or Kittle here, but it's whatever. Quarterback is getting extremely thin. We're looking at like Zach Wilson's and Jared Goff's. But I think we can afford to wait all the way to like this Mitch Trubisky area if we need to. Even like Jimmy Garoppolo would be fun. So I think this has to be Waddle. And then I am staring down. So Breece Hall just went. Let's go Waddle Akers. Let's go Waddle. I usually take a lot more wide receivers early, but again, running back gets a pretty big boost in this format. So let's go Akers here. Why not? Why not? Why not go a little bit more robust RB? This is going to be. I'm going to try my hand at like a hyper fragile Superflex team here. We'll see how it goes. I cannot promise that it's going to work well, but 12-man half PPR. I'm the 12 spot, finding myself double hero RB often to start. Is there a running back where you avoid this spot with? In my mocks, I'm getting 2-3 of Mixon, Swift, Saquon, 2 wide receiver, 1 flex. I would say keep yourself open because I do think a lot of the time you're going to see Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, or even like a Jamar Chase get there. I would love all of those guys over any of the running backs you listed, but of the running backs you listed, I really like Swift and Saquon. I think Swift and Saquon at the 1-2 turn is probably a fine way to start your draft, though, if like Chase, Diggs, or Adams aren't there. What's up, Ron? How are we doing, Drew? To be honest, Bubbles 212 has a solid team right now. Who's Bubbles 212? And are you Bubbles 212? Allen, Diggs, Saquon, Jameis, Tannehill? Yeah, that's actually a pretty fun team. You said you reached and drafted Rachaad White at the 112 this year because I have Fournette, and that felt like an appropriate handcuff. I got London and Burks earlier, so it didn't feel that egregious of a reach. Yeah, I still don't love that in Dynasty. I mean, if you have Rachaad White at your 112, I think that's fine. But handcuffing isn't great. Even in Dynasty, where I know it feels safe, but again, the way I play, I want to maximize my upside, so I would rather somebody else's handcuff or ambiguous running back. Like, if James Cook was on the board, I would have rather like a James Cook, just to have somebody else. But if you had Rachaad White like there and that was your tiebreaker, I don't think that's awful. Best mock draft site? Underdog, baby. Promo code Ron. But no. If it's like a pure mock, like they all suck. That's the issue. They all suck unless if there's actual money on the line. But I guess like Fantasy Pros like isn't awful. They're like mock draft simulator thing. Drew, how you feeling? I appreciate you asking, man. I gotta say I'm feeling better. Still taking Tylenol every day. Today was the first day I woke up and I didn't feel like complete shit. Really the only bummer is I'm still testing positive for COVID, so we were actually going to film the live draft tomorrow, right? I don't know how many of you guys were here with us last off season, but we filmed the live draft in person, which was really, really fun to film. Got all my college buddies together, so that's the saddest part of this whole thing is I made all this time to coordinate this. I found out everybody's schedule. I had a spreadsheet of everybody's schedule. All of the homies were ready to go, and I'm the one that ruined it. So it sucks. We were supposed to film tomorrow. I'm still testing positive. I tested positive today. And as much as like you test positive, so I first started getting sick on like last Wednesday, and today's like the first day I started feeling better. So it's cutting it really close. We have guys who live with grandparents. We have guys who are going back to school. Not worth it for any of them to put anybody at risk of COVID. So it does suck. It was literally like tomorrow. Tomorrow was the only date that worked. Everybody's going back to school this week. So it does suck, but I promised them we're going to go all out next year. I already have some ideas planned on how Underdog could sponsor like a real experience. And I think that I would love to do some kind of like draft party at like a hotel and get either like a big luxury suite, or go out there and get a one of those like conference like luxury rooms at a hotel with like maybe like bottle service and like food supplied and everything, all sponsored by Underdog. So I have a lot of really big ideas for next year's live draft, but it does suck that I had to be the one to say, hey guys, like my bad on this, you know? Even though like obviously it's not anybody's fault. It's just bad luck, but it does suck. All right, so what are we staring down here? I'm good on Josh Jacobs. We're going to treat this as like kind of a double hero RB. QB's interesting here. I don't love Mills or Watson, though. I'd rather kind of wait. We'll wait on quarterback a little bit longer. I do like Juju. Let's go Juju, and let's go Elijah Moore. Let's do that. I think that this looks good. I think that that's a strong way to do this. What do we got here? Heal up, bro. I appreciate that, man. You guys have been great, dude. Everybody, all the comments have been feel better. People have been reaching out saying feel better. You guys are amazing, dude. It truly does suck how unfortunate it was that, like, I don't know how to say this, but this was the worst time, where this is the biggest month for YouTube growth. This is the biggest month for just like this industry, where it's fantasy football and we're going balls to the wall here, and there's a lot of plans going on. So getting hit with COVID in the middle of pretty much like August is the equivalent of like accountants during March or tax season, whenever that is, if that's April or March, I don't know. But that's essentially what August is through week one for fantasy football analysts, YouTubers, all that. So it did throw a wrench into some things. We've still been posting daily. We've still been trucking through it. I feel better. Wrote and recorded an absolute, I'm not going to say masterpiece. I also feel like I'm too far back right now. Hold on. Oh, jeez. Things are falling all over the place. What the hell was I on about? But, yeah. Made a video I'm super proud of today. It's going to get edited overnight, and then you guys will have it tomorrow. 0 RB. We got what you think about drafting Tyreek Hill. He's someone I've been back and forth on. I think he's super talented. You do have the scenario where maybe he just sucks, or maybe not that he just sucks, but maybe he's old and he doesn't have that eighth gear that he can kick it into. So that's an issue. And then he's also catching passes from Tua. So I don't love him. I actually have A.J. Brown and T. Higgins over him. I think I'm actually going to move him down a little bit in our next redraft rankings update that I'm going to put out, I think, tomorrow night on the Patreon. So be on the lookout for that. You said, oh, man, I hope you feel better soon. Dope. Thank you, man. You said that would be awesome, by the way. Yeah, I think so, too. And I honestly wish it worked out better than I didn't have that idea. Because imagine I had, like, a hotel booked and I had, like, $1,000 in the air and I had to cancel it all. Would have sucked. But yeah, I think that would be really fun. DKB's in here. You said, hope you're feeling better, man. Sucks you couldn't do the home league draft. That was a great video. Yeah, I agreed, man. It was such a fun video last year. I think that it would have been great this year, but it's whatever. This year it'll just be the year that, I costed the live draft with COVID, but it's not the end of the world. I guess it's kind of the end of the world, but it's not the end of the world. What else we got here? Why do you think David Montgomery, if he's almost in the same circumstances as he was last year? Why do you think David Montgomery sucks or something like that? Or like why David Montgomery's a bad pick? I didn't like him last year. He's a plodding 15-point per game running back. We know we can replicate those off of waiver wire. And on top of that, when it comes to David Montgomery, I think he's in a different situation than he was last year. They have a new coaching staff. They're bringing in Luke Getsy at OC, coming from Green Bay. Aaron Jones is 10 times the running back that David Montgomery could ever dream of, and they refuse to feature Aaron Jones as a bell cow back, even with Jamal Williams on the team. He likes a committee approach. I think he's going to get there, and the days of 80% plus opportunity share for David Montgomery is gone. I think Khalil Herbert showed last year in his stretches that he's damn good, and he actually outperformed David Montgomery in a lot of really important metrics. I think this is going to be a committee. They're also going to install like an outside zone running scheme, which plays more to Khalil Herbert's strength than it does David Montgomery's. So I think there's a chance that David Montgomery just isn't that good this year, doesn't have the same type of volume that he's had in years past. So I think the circumstances are actually pretty different with David Montgomery, just from my viewpoint at the very least. All right, so we're up here. If Deshaun Watson gets to us at the 9-10 turn, we will be taking him. Have you played Madden 23 at all yet? Sadly, no. I haven't had any time to, but I plan to over the weekend, like Thursday on. So I definitely will. I've heard some good reviews on it. I heard that it's actually pretty solid. Maybe online. Let me know if you've played it, DKB. Let me know. But I've heard that it's pretty solid. I gotta say that the new like skill-based passing looks like a headache, but it also looks pretty great. Like I said, I will take Deshaun Watson here, I think. What do you guys think about going Deshaun Watson, like Amari Cooper here? So you go Christian Kirk. Let's go Deshaun Watson, Amari Cooper here. We'll go Deshaun Watson, Amari Cooper, and I think we'll just cut it off there. We have these two quarterbacks through week 9 to 11, and I guess we kind of hope that Deshaun Watson gets in there by, it's a $3 draft. It's not a huge investment. So yeah, let's go Deshaun, and then we'll stack him with Amari here. I think that's a fun way to do that. Boom. Who would you take at the 3 and 4 spot if McCaffrey and JT are gone, brother? I like chasing Jefferson and Kupp there. Ron, what up, man? What's going on, Andrew? Hold up. Get a little sipski. Thankfully, I'm not coughing all over the place, man. I did a stream. I want to say it was last Thursday, dude. Brutal. I couldn't get through like a round without coughing all over the place. It was super annoying. I think we're all right now, though. $250 14-team league, 13th pick. You taking Kelsey or a top wide receiver and a running back, or taking 2 RBs, 13 and 16? Depends on who's on the board there. But at that turn pick, I would play it really cool in terms of, all right, so you're on the clock at pick 13. The guy, so it's a 14 team. So the guy at 14 and 15, right? So let's say you're looking at Kelsey and you're staring down like 3 position players that you like. I think you take Kelsey and then you just let whatever of the position players fall to you, if that makes sense. In a 14-teamer, I don't know how many flexes and how many wide receiver spots you have, but I would be tempted to go elite tight end in that format and then just take best player available in the second round. But it just depends on what you're looking at on the board there. Welcome back to the basement. Always, brother. Always. Feel like Higgins is being slept on too much. Chase will eat, but so will T. I agree, but I think I guess he's kind of getting slept on. I have him as like a late second. He goes early third. Planning on a 0 RB build this year in my home league. Have pick 12. Keeper is Kupp. PPR 3 wide receivers. That sounds good. I would just say don't go in with a rigid strategy, right? You don't want to have you don't want to take CeeDee Lamb at pick 12 over, I don't know. I'm not going to say Eckler is there, but you get what I'm saying. I just don't shoehorn your way in there. What on God's green earth is Team 3 doing? Let me see. He's just hammering out wide receivers, brother. I don't think any of these look too weird, do they? Mahomes, Derek Carr, Dalvin Cook, Pittman, Williams, McLaurin, Judy, London, Kadarius Toney, Dame Harris, Mitch Trubisky. Doesn't look crazy to me. Maybe I'm not looking correctly. I don't know. Do I like Saquon or Swift more in PPR? Right now, Swift, but you can talk me into Saquon. I will say I am going to sit down and do some a rankings update tomorrow, so I haven't fully fledged out my my thoughts here. How many drafts do you think you're gonna do on live? Just this one. They're 20 rounds. Not feeling great. But yeah, is it normal for Chubb to be going before Kamara on Underdog, or was that just this draft? Let me see. Chubb went before Kamara here? No, that was just this draft. And that's wild value on Kamara here. 504 in a Superflex? My God. No, that's insane value on Kamara, dude. I probably should have maybe been looking at him at like 37 here. Kamara was hidden on ADP. Yeah, that was a mistake by me. I'll say that much. All right. Let's get this up. Wow, we're staring down Marquez Valdes-Scantling here. I have some ideas. I think this is time to revert back to running back. I have some great ideas here. So Komet goes. Who are you going to go? Dropping Naj, whoever this guy is. Let's go Garrett Wilson. And then we'll go Rachaad White. Get a little stack with our boy Tom Brady. Now, one more time. We have 1 QB, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, a super flex, a flex, and a bench. I think we're going to think at running back, we want to get to like 5 or 6. I think wide receiver, we want to do like 6 or 7, and then tight end we'll do 2. All right, we'll just kind of see how it comes to us. I'm not really sure yet. About to hop into one of these soon. Love to hear it. DKB, you're saying, yeah, it's solid. Just the pass rush is insane. You have to, like, no time in the pocket, but the free-form passing thing is cool, and it feels kind of different overall. Yeah, I heard, like, the animations are cooler and stuff. It looks good, man. Like, it honestly looks good. I'm gonna get the 10-hour trial soon here, and then from there I'll kind of decide what I'm doing with the game. But yeah, it looks a lot better than it has in years past. I'll say that much. Even like franchise looks pretty revamped, where they have like the team mentor stuff and like the player roles, and you have motivations too, so you can't just sign anybody in free agency. I'll give a tip of the cap to Madden for now. I haven't played it yet, but it looks strong. It looks strong. Of course, if I get running back value falling, I'll grab them. Of course. Why are people low on Mixon and Dynasty? Just, he's not somebody that's going to give you difference-making production, and you can get guys who go in the same area as him, like Leonard Fournette and Aaron Jones, like 3 rounds later. So it just doesn't make sense to me to spend up on a Mixon. You doing a few drafts tonight? Nah, sadly, just one. Okay, but you said that already went in. And why are you lower on Herbert than the market? Like Justin Herbert, I'm not. The only reason I'm lower on him is just because I don't like taking quarterbacks early. I view him, Mahomes, Kyler, Lamar, all in this same tier. And when Herbert goes in the 4th round and then those other guys go in the 5th and 6th round, I just find myself waiting to the 5th and 6th round for those other guys. That's pretty much what it boils down to. But if I see Justin Herbert fall to the 5th round and not the 4th round, then I'll take him. I just recently made a Superflex draft strategy video. It should have Jalen Hurts on the cover of it. And I go through kind of what my strategy would be in a Superflex league for redraft. I actually like the idea. My general guideline for Superflex in redraft would be to try and get 2 quarterbacks through 3 rounds. Is that really 4 QBs, or am I reading this wrong? It might be 4 quarterbacks, but in best ball, you want to have quite a few quarterbacks. Wow, this guy, P. Shore, just went 4 straight QBs here. I'm going to be really curious to see what these 2 teams do. They both double-tapped quarterback, and this one's only at 2 QBs, this one's at 3 quarterbacks. Again, I really don't know what the move is in terms of roster construction in this kind of format. You just got Saquon Barkley and Diggs for Aaron Jones, Hunter Renfrow, and Sky Moore in a trade. I'm going to assume that this is redraft. Just remember, boys, when you send me a trade, just make sure you tell me if it's redraft or dynasty. I'm going to assume that it's redraft. You got Saquon and Diggs for Aaron Jones, Renfrow, and Sky Moore. I love that all day. You fleece that, man. That should be illegal, brother. What up, man? 10 PPR, got the 9th pick. What you thinking? Probably best player available. Probably hope that Jamar Chase gets there. If not, then you're probably looking at like Diggs, Devontae Adams, maybe Swift if you're a running back guy, maybe Saquon if you're that guy. I think that kind of answers it. You said, appreciate the content, Ron. Only my second season of doing fantasy football, but learning a lot. Love to hear that, man. Love to hear that. I'm constantly learning as well, man. If you go back to my videos that I made my first summer doing this, so that was 2 summers ago now, summer of 2020, I'm mountains better than I was back then. I think I was actually not even that good of a fantasy player back then, which is pretty funny. Man, so we have no onesie positions available in this area. Our quarterbacks down here are looking pretty shitty, but I have some ideas. Let me see. I don't mind Tyler Algier, but I don't love him. Our quarterbacks are Brady, Dak. We need to make sure that we're kind of getting some stacks in here. I hate that I just have to keep on taking Tyler Algier. I don't even love Tyler Algier that much, but he keeps falling to me in an area where it's like, okay, I'll take Tyler Algier. I think Christian Watson's also somewhat interesting. So I think this needs to be, at the very least, this needs to be Michael Gallup, get us a Dallas connection here. And then we'll look at, I think this just has to be Tyler Algier. I will say, though, I think I would probably just prefer Khalil Herbert straight up versus Tyler Algier, if I'm being completely honest. Give me Khalil Herbert. I think that works okay. I don't know how I feel about this team at all, guys. This is, again, this is a foreign format to me. I don't play a lot of redraft Superflex. I don't know if that's a flaw in me as an analyst. I just don't love it. Like, I've talked about this before, but I love my redraft leagues just be pretty vanilla. You're saying you think I take Kelsey on the way back? Also, thank you for the help. I think that's a decent way to go. 10-team PPR. I imagine that they're shallower starting lineups. So every team is pretty stacked. So I don't mind the idea of going elite tight end. What do we got here? Appreciate the oh, okay. I already read that. You said, oh, it was. Had to talk a 2-hour talk about it for it to work. Jeez, dude. You're a snake oil salesman, brother. Nah, I'm playing. That is like a moral crossroads for me, because like I am in home leagues. Or I am in like one home league with my high school buddies, and obviously they don't care about this shit as much as I do. So I can, you know, whisper in their ear and say, "Hey, man, you know, Saquon Barkley, he's coming off an ACL. He hasn't been good, man. Just give him to me. I'll give you James Conner and Jacoby Myers, dude. You'll love that. You'll love that for Saquon Barkley, dude. That's a steal. James Conner was better than Saquon Barkley last year, and you get an extra wide receiver to put in your flex. That's money. Hit the accept button, bro." I got wild in a draft being at small money, have a complete Philadelphia and New Orleans correlation. I was like, dude, is this a fraternity correlation? Phi Sigma Delta correlation? What do you think about drafting quarterback first round strategy? In a one quarterback, I think that is one of the worst things you can do. Late round QB strategy coined by JJ Zachariason. I think he has like a whole book on it. But yeah, he kind of covers it there. Pretty much, quarterback is pretty flat in scoring. You don't want to really pay up for that first quarterback. We have realized recently that elite tier of quarterback does give you an edge, but you don't want to pay up for the first quarterback in that tier. You'd rather be towards the back end of that tier, like the 5th, 6th rounds. Heck yeah. Did he see the quote of Aaron Rodgers flaming his rookie wideouts? I did not see that. But that would be funny. Would you trade Saquon for a future 2nd-round pick in Dynasty? I would not. I would want at least a first. Superflex, is there a new competition? Yes, sir. This is the Pomeranian but Superflex here. It's not completely full. It's only $3 to enter. It's Superflex. First place gets $5,000. Super fun. Again, if you're new to Best Ball Mania, if you're new to Underdog, promo code Ron. I have the link pinned in the description. Make sure you hop on there before the end of the offseason. Use promo code Ron. They will match your deposit up to $100. Get in on the fun. Again, it's only $3 to enter one of these, and you can go out there and get prizes, $50,000 in prizes on a $3 investment. I also think that there's going to be some really crazy swings in this where Superflex is it's not a solved puzzle yet in best ball. So nobody knows what the hell they're doing. I don't even know what I'm doing. In terms of I have a red badge. I know what I'm doing. And in Superflex, I'm at a loss, man. I truly do not know what I'm doing. In terms of I don't know how many quarterbacks I should be stopping at. I don't know how many running backs I should be stopping at. I really am kind of just flying blind here. I know we need to take one more tight end, maybe another quarterback. Man, Drew Lock went. I would have loved to take Drew Lock on the way back. Man. Now again, if you're going to give me Ronald Jones here, I really got to wean off of my Ronald Jones exposure, guys. I really got to cut that out. We got a super chat from Mike Dizzle 40. I appreciate that, man. Great content. Thank you. I'm in a full auction next weekend. Who are a couple of your top picks that you would pay up for? How do you think about auction versus snake? That's such a tough question. I got a lot of auction questions. I got to be honest with you guys. I'm not going to front here. I've never played in an auction league before. So it's really difficult for me to kind of put myself in your shoes, but let's say there was some kind of charity event, kids with terminal illness, and they're like, Ron, dude, the only thing that'll make these kids better is you got to hop in this league and play. It's an auction league. I know you don't like auction, man, but it's for the kids. And I'm like, okay. So I go to the drawing board. I think I would approach it similar to how I would approach a normal league, where I'm not paying up for the Josh Jacobs of the world and the Ezekiel Elliott's of the world and all the dead zone running backs. I'm missing out on them. I'm paying up for my guys. So I think I'll probably go later there, where I think Jamar Chase might be a steal. He's my 105. If you can get him in that range of being the 8th or 9th most expensive player, I think that would be good. I think Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs will be undervalued. I like Kyle Pitts. I think he'll be undervalued. I also like Trey Lance. He should be undervalued. Same thing with Jalen Hurts. Same with Justin Fields and Daniel Jones. I also think that you'll be able to get some value on, I think Jerry Jeudy will be a value. I think Juju will be a value. I think Elijah Moore will be a value. Garrett Wilson, Treylon Burks. Even though, the Treylon Burks reports are super annoying. Look, fellas, the reason that we draft rookie wide receivers is for them to produce on the back half of the season. If you're drafting Treylon Burks in a seasonal league, you don't have to start him in week 1. The idea is that he sort of ramps up, like we see with a lot of these wide receivers, and sort of destroys people in the back half of the season. So I think Treylon Burks, people are really scared off of him. I've been able to get him for really cheap. Same thing with Treylon Burks. Anybody else that comes to mind? No, I think that's good. I think that's good, huh? I think that I kind of did my thing there. I hate that I had to bring the kids into it. That's my bad. And didn't mean to bring in the kids, but hey, man, I had to method act real quick. I put myself in that situation. I'm playing an auction league for the kids. I might do an auction league eventually, but it just feels like it would take forever, man. It just feels like it would take a long ass time. Maybe I'm pumping that up, but I gotta imagine it takes so long. Almost, fellas. You play any DFS, Ron? Well, here's the thing with DFS. I just turned 21 in May, so I haven't played it yet. I haven't been able to. I might dabble in DFS this year. I don't have any plans really to make DFS type content outside of the DFS that I've played last year. Not to flex on them, or anything, but sometimes I gotta dust the puppy off. Give it a little shine, a little look in the light. Give it a little glisten, little underdog fantasy ring. That's what you get if you win one of these tournaments, by the way. But I won a weekly tournament, so that's technically DFS, and it was the playoff slate. It was the day that Gabriel Davis went off. Gabriel Davis is the reason for this ring, is the reason why I have a tournament win. But it was the Chiefs-Bills game, and then earlier that day it might have been the Rams-Buccaneers game. And it was it's pretty much a DFS slate, and I'll try and implement them more in season, but they're really fun to do. Where you draft a team, you play in a big field tournament, and instead of it being DFS where it's salary based, everybody does a snake draft, and then the winner of that gets all the money. You can do it for like the Sunday slate, the 1 p.m. slate, all that good stuff. So I might dabble with that a little bit more in season, but that's the only DFS experience that I have so far. I will say as well, there was this little stint in time where I used my mom's name on DraftKings, made a DFS account, played a little bit of DFS, made a bunch of money one weekend, and then lost it all like the following like 5 weekends, stopped forever. And now DraftKings has me locked out of my account because they're like, you did some shady shit where you used your mom's name, whatever. And I've gone back and forth with them in the email. I'm like, dude, like I'm 21 now. Let me on your site. I would like to use your site to put my money inside of. I will deposit money on your site to play some DFS, to mess around on DFS. And they struggle. So maybe I'll check out like FanDuel or whatever. But yeah, the moral of the story is I'm 21, don't have a lot of DFS experience. But it does seem like a fun format. Phi Sigma Ron, of course, dude. Rock on, brother. In full PBR, do you like cook or chase better? Chase. Pomeranian, I can't wait till that closes in 37 seconds. Yeah, this thing's gonna close soon, dude. All of these close soon. The puppies close. The Pomeranians close. There was a Pomeranian earlier today that wasn't Superflex, and it filled in like 3 hours. It was max at 15, fellas. During my like lunch break, I say lunch break even though I'm like my own boss and I control how long I take on a lunch. But I maxed out. I did 15 Pomeranian entries at the same time today. A lot of auto picks, a lot of ugly stuff, but the Pomeranian as well is, I believe, even this Pomeranian, it should be like 0% rake. Yeah, dude, 0% rake is huge, man. This means Underdog takes none of the money. In a lot of their large field tournament, it'll be like 11% rake. The most profitable and the best ROI contest are these Pomeranians, where you only spend $3. There's no rake at all. Oh my God, Ronald Jones is still on the board? Come on. All right, so we have 4 picks left. Nothing at QB. We're taking none of those guys. Dude, at this point, I think I have to just take Ronald Jones. So I guess let's take Ronald Jones. Again, I don't want to, but I feel forced to here. I guess we could go another wide receiver. None of these guys stack with anything that we're doing here. Let's go Dearness Johnson. Let's go Dearness Johnson, and any wide receiver we'll take, we'll make sure that it's some kind of correlation to Brady, Dak, Deshaun. What do we got? Let's see. Buccaneers. Nothing really great. I'm not really interested in any of these guys. Tyler Johnson's this low on ADP. So Buccaneers. What about Cowboys? Nothing for Cowboys. So that's already dead. And then we were staring down Donovan Peoples-Jones there, weren't we? And I could have taken him, but it's fine. So we're looking at Donovan Peoples-Jones. We're looking at David Bell. Okay. I think we're looking all right. We're looking okay. 2 picks left. What do you think? What do you think about Pickens and Hamler for a 23 first in a 10-man league? I think you have to do that. I think you have to sell Pickens Hamler for that. As much as I love Pickens and I want to see him ball out, I think you would have to sell him for that. What is your draft strategy for a 10-team snake draft? Pretty much the same thing that it would be for a 12-man. Thank you. Of course, Mike. I got you. Lance's breakout potential is unreal. It feels like 100%, dude. I might unsubscribe because you missed that throw. Come on now. Come on now. That's sick, haha. Oh my God. I can't remember what I even showed you right there. Oh, maybe how many teams I drafted? How confident can we be in Pitts and Drake London with Mariota as QB? I mean, Mariota supported maybe not a great Corey Davis season, but like Delaney Walker balled out with Mariota. I don't know. I think Mariota's not as bad a quarterback people think that he is, man. He's pretty damn good. And Ritter looked good too in the preseason game, so I'm not overly concerned. I'm honestly more concerned about Arthur Smith running a boring offense where Last year you had games, even in negative game scripts, where he would just stick the ball in Mike Davis's belly and just run, like, even in neutral, even in like bad passing friendly type game scripts, he wouldn't pass the ball as much as you would think that he would. To clarify, would you be willing to trade away a future first round pick to get Saquon in return? If it's a 24 first, I would. If it's a 23 first, I don't think I would. Chris Diaz, Tyler Johnson. Yeah, I could technically go Tyler Johnson, but Tyler Johnson's tough, man. Tyler Johnson is a tough sell for me. Oh, the Underdog ring and then using my mom as an accountant on DraftKings. Yeah, of course. That was a fun time here, dude. I literally like argue with them on over email. I'm like, dude, this is me. I am not under my mother's name. My name is Ron Stewart. It is not my mom's name. I am 21. Yes, I did some shady things on this site before. Please forgive me for my sins. Forgive me. I was a 16, 17-year-old boy who just wanted to play DFS, and now I'm of age, and you are denying me that. Should be ashamed of themselves. Of course, I'm just joking. I was an idiot for even doing all that, but it is crazy how I have been back and forth with them on email for months now, and they still can't seem to figure out that I am not my mom. But yeah, what's the best strategy for a league? I'm sure we'll draft quarterbacks first round. Should I go running back, wide receiver, running back, wide receiver? If it's a one quarterback league and you're sure people are going to draft quarterbacks in the first round, just take best player available and scoop up all the value that the quarterbacks push down, man. Scotty Miller, that's getting pretty. That is getting pretty. What am I trying to say? Getting pretty ambiguous there. All right, we have these two. Cleveland running backs available to us. So what do we need here? We need so Dallas, Tennessee. I have an idea for Dallas, Tennessee. I think we're gonna end up with a 3-7-8-2 builds here. Carolina running back. I'm not interested in anybody not named Deonta Foreman there. Man, do I prefer Donovan Peoples-Jones or David Bell? I think straight up I prefer David Bell, if I'm being honest with you guys. So let's go David Bell. We have a lot of Cleveland here, which isn't great, but let's go David Bell. And then I think this just has to be Sony. As much as I kind of wanted to mess around with some other... I wanted to kind of go Julius Chestnut here, or Hassan Haskins, but I think Sony Michel just is the best player available, so let's do that. So this is kind of like a zero... It's not even 0 RB, but like 20 rounds. We don't need any more tight ends. I think at quarterback, we're fine with 3 there. Wide receiver, I think that's fine at 8. Again, we don't need strong wide receivers. We need a lot of running back firepower. So I think 7 running backs here. I think that works. It's like kind of a double hero RB-ish type team where it's Aaron Jones and Akers, and then Rashad White, Khalil Herbert, Ronald Jones, Dearness Johnson, Sony Michel. Just a bunch of nice late. Pesky, are you offering me? Are you offering me this trade, or are you like asking me? Like, is this a trade that is? Are you proposing this trade to me in a league that me and you are in together, or are you just asking me this? You said, yeah, I already traded for the first, but it feels like every hour I hear some more pick and type. Hopefully I can get like JSN or something with the pick. So I'm assuming that, Chris, you're the one that traded away. Yeah, you traded away Pickens and Hamler for a 23 first. Yeah, dude, that's a good trade no matter what, no matter how that plays out. Kyle Phillips, that was actually a good recommendation. Pesky, are you? Is this in a league that me and you are in? But if I had Penny, would I trade away Penny for a second in Julio? I think I probably hold on to Penny there, but it's close. It's close. I gotta say, we're not in peak dynasty season here, so it's a little bit tougher for me to compute these just because I haven't been in that mindset recently. You know, when it's like March and we're just balls deep in dynasty, it's a little bit different. So a second. What is Julio even trading for in Dynasty? Wide receiver 88 on keep trade cut. Wow, they're saying a mid-second is worth more than Rashad Penny. If I have Rashad Penny and I'm approached with a 23-second, would I trade away Rashad Penny for a second? I guess I don't know. That is a hard that's a hard equation for me. I think I would sell Penny for that, and then if I'm like a contender, maybe I would do it if I'm a contender, and then turn around and sell a second for like a different running back, I guess. Thanks a lot, of course, brother. But all right, that is the draft. Again, toughing out COVID, making COVID my bitch for you guys. We're out here, daily uploads through week 1. We're gonna be out here. On top of that, yeah, Pesky. That's pretty much what I ended up saying. I think that Penny is equal to a second, then you do get a free roll on Julio. So I mean, even if you're not contending, I think that that's fine. And then if you still need a running back, you can just turn around and trade that second for a running back. Now, one last time here for the fellas in the back. We have the Pomeranian but Superflex right now. I guarantee that Underdog's going to be doing a lot of really fun contests here. This one is only $3 to enter, and the beauty of it is that it's 0% rake, which means they take none of it. A lot of these other ones, where let's say we look at WrestleMania 3, rake is 11.3% here. If we look at the big dog, 8.9%. The fact that you're getting a free roll here with 0% rake is crazy, fellas. Like, this is the best ROI contest out there right now. 40% fill. It'll probably be full by the end of tonight. So if you want to hop on there, I have the link pinned in the live chat. It'll be in the description. It'll be down below in the comments. Make sure you go out there. You use promo code RON when you sign up on Underdog to match your deposit up to $100. Hop in the Pomeranian but Superflex. I'm telling you guys, it is the best way to go out there and actually have a good ROI on best ball. You don't see a 0% rate contest very often that also has thousands of dollars in prizes. Now, that's going to do it for us today. I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming out here, hanging out with me tonight. Finally feeling better from COVID. Expect an absolute banger to drop tomorrow. We have the 0 RB draft strategy video dropping tomorrow. It is going to be pretty much, I would call it the 0 RB Bible, where we break it down from the philosophy, where and when to use it, 3 mock drafts from different spots, 45 minutes of raw footage. But yeah, I would say a puppy's going to come out very soon, fellas. They dropped a Pomeranian today, and then a Pomeranian but Superflex later on today. So it seems like I would make sure that you're following their Twitter. I'd put their notifications on because they are tweeting, like they tweeted out earlier, like Pomeranian but Superflex coming out in 30 minutes. They're dropping a lot of these like small contests and stuff. And again, the ROI on these, especially the Pomeranians, do with that 0% rake, crazy. If it wasn't so late, I would max out these 15 entries here. I actually maxed them out. I talked about it earlier, but I maxed out the 15 entries earlier today. I did 15 entries on the Pomeranian too, all at the same time, just because 0% rate, guys, huge for ROI. Now, that's enough of me just rambling here, and I will see you guys in the next one.